violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, cyberspace? It's a Black Gen Z mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Dead, shot inside his home on New Year's Day. Let's get to CBS 2's Sabrina Francis. She's live from Comer Children's Hospital for us tonight. Sabrina, police just released new details here about what happened.
Chico.
Chris, they did. At least 15 people shot in the city of Chicago on this first day of 2023. This latest victim, a 9-year-old boy, shot in his own home.
9-year-old boy clapped and deleted on New Year's. You can't make this up. Guys, the community is on fire, especially in Chirac.
The question tonight is how. Now, this investigation still has many more questions than answers. This happened at around 6:30 this evening on the 9400 block of South Wallace. Police claim the little boy lived there with his extended family, all whom were there at the time of the shooting and will be, police say, taken in for questioning. Somehow this 9-year-old boy was shot. Police did not say where or how many wounds that he had, but our cameras caught police canvassing around the Baynard home. And inside the home, we later learned that the gun still has not been found. And
wow. So after the 9-year-old boy was shot, it appears that maybe the family took the weapon and hid it. Took it somewhere. Withholding evidence. Obstruction of justice.
Police could not tell us whether or not they suspected any negligence or criminality. We asked.
If you're going to be a gun owner in this city, please be a responsible gun owner. And a responsible gun owner makes sure that their gun is always secure.
Good luck with that in the community. When you have people who are pointing the gun at the camera, doing pictures like this and like jumping up and down, pointing their firearm, it's hard to, in the same breath, talk about responsible gun ownership.
And kept stored in an area that's not accessible by children or others who should not have access to that firearm.
Again, it is not clear whether or not there was any negligence in this case. Police are looking into that. Again, they said they're questioning every single person that was inside that home. Of course, we'll keep you updated as soon as we have any new details on this investigation. But for now, we're live outside Comer Children's Hospital. Sabrina Francis, CBS 2 News.
Sabrina, thanks very much.
Liz, sources are telling ABC7 that detectives are still interviewing the mother as well as other relatives here at Area 2 as they try and determine exactly what happened inside the house and who owns the gun, still unidentified, that fired those shots, killing that little boy. Bits of crime tape remain outside the home where yesterday evening 9-year-old Jarvis Watts lost his life after.
So you have the woman who is the mother defending whoever owned the firearm. Maybe it's her. Maybe it's someone in the fam. Maybe it's some dude that she's smashing. But guys, I mean, this is why these things keep going on, because the individuals who bring chaos and destruction to the community are protected, especially by the women.
Being shot 3 times. Police at this point are still trying to determine whether this was an accidental shooting. The weapon has not been recovered.
It seems like the gun gets more respect than the victim. This gun is in a warm place somewhere, laying down in a pillow, in a car, or in somebody's waistbands. This baby is laying down at the morgue.
The shooting, which took place in the city's Princeton Park neighborhood, is one of at least 5 in which someone has lost their life as a result of gunfire in Chicago since the year began. The boy was rushed to Comer Children's Hospital, where he was pronounced.
It's an extended family that resides in the house. There were multiple children and multiple adults in the house at that time.
Neighbors today say the boy was one of 3 living here, attending Kipling Elementary School just across the street.
It was sad. It was sad to hear that that had happened. They would always be out here playing football and just running around. And if I needed any help when I was coming in and I had lots of groceries in the car, they would always be, you know, there to help.
Now, because detectives are still trying to determine the exact circumstances surrounding the shooting, this is still, for now, being classified as a death investigation.
Liz, Jarvis Watts' family grieving the loss of this beloved boy as detectives try to figure out what happened and who owned that weapon that killed the 9-year-old boy. Tonight, a family deep in mourning over the loss of 9-year-old Jarvis Watts. The boy died tragically after Chicago police say he was shot 3 times Sunday.
It was sad. It was sad to hear that that had happened.
Shirley Smith lives near the Princeton Park home at 94th and Wallace. She said Watts was one of many children who lived there.
They would always be out here playing football and just running around. And if I needed any help when I was coming in and I had lots of groceries in the car, they would always be, you know, there to help.
Last we heard from investigators, police were trying to speak with the people inside the home at the time of the shooting to piece together what happened. Sources told ABC7 one of the people questioned the boy's mother. Police said Watts was shot in the face, neck, and hand inside a bedroom in the home. The Cook County Medical Examiner's office has since ruled the 9-year-old's death a homicide. Investigators say they're looking for the gun used in the shooting.
This gun is in a warm place somewhere, laying down in a pillow, in a car, or in somebody's waistbands. This baby is laying down at the morgue.
Watts was one of at least 5 people killed by gunfire in the city since the new year began.
Chicago police still looking for answers into the deadly shooting of a 9-year-old on New Year's Day. Jarvis Watts was shot while inside a house in the Brainerd neighborhood. CBS 2's Jermont Terry live for us at CPD headquarters tonight with the roadblocks detectives are facing in this investigation. Jermont?
Joe, family members are complicating matters. There are some basic questions detectives would like to pinpoint. Who brought that gun into the house? Where is that gun tonight? And more importantly, who fired the multiple shots killing this child?
Multiple shots. Guys, and the family is not cooperating. You cannot make this up. No solutions.
Take a look at this picture. Jarvis Watts did not make it through the first day of the new year.
I can't even wrap my fingers around that. I can't. It's just sad.
Neighbors living near 94th and Wallace are stunned to know the 9-year-old lost his life while inside the family's house. According to the medical examiner, the boy died from multiple gunshots. Police can't determine if Jarvis's death is due to negligence or if it's criminal in nature. We're told several adults and children were inside the house for a New Year's Day gathering. With a packed house, shots went off. Police have not said if Jarvis got a hold of the weapon, if another child pulled the trigger, or who the gun belongs to. They've questioned everyone there. Despite speaking with those inside the house during the shooting, police still can't tell us what happened. A child neighbors describe as caring.
He was a really happy child from what I noticed, you know. I would always see him taking the garbage out, you know. And if there was garbage on my side, he would pick it up and take it out.
Now this vibrant child's light is...
Seemed like a real good kid. Gone too soon. Sisters, come get your kids.
dimmed. His life cut short in what family members tell CBS 2 was an accidental shooting.
I'm really sad to know that this has happened to him.
Meanwhile, police want to know how this happened to Jarvis.
Now, police said 9-year-old Jarvis was living at the home with his extended family. He attended CPS's Kipling Elementary School on the south side. As for this police investigation, one last check, police did not have the gun in question. Live at CPD headquarters tonight, Jermont Terry, CBS 2 News.
Jermont, thank you.
Yo, what's good, BGZM News 17 family? I'm at the corner of Jesse Jackson and Marcus Garvey. and I got some bad news for you. As you can see, I lost my job. I'm out here living in cardboard boxes outside of boarded up vacant homes. YouTube said I'm done getting money out here in these streets. They even took my funky ass suit. So anything right now would help. So go ahead and hit that Cash App, hit that PayPal, hit that GoFundMe, hell, cop the merch. Or if you want to make the long-term commitment to the Jinquavius Jackson Fund, join the Patreon so that I can continue to put out top-notch content each and every day. Also, check out the Rumble, where there is absolutely no censorship. Link in the description box below.
Hey, yo, ain't that nigga Jinquavius? Yo, I recognize.
No, that's not me no more.
Hey, yo, run your pocket.
Y'all killing me with this shit.
Do the opposite of Antonio Brown and take
What
all your
more do you want from me?
The 9-year-old boy shot and killed over the weekend in Washington Heights might have shot himself. In a police report, a child who was there told them Jarvis Watts was playing with the gun when it went off on New Year's Day.
Wow. So they're questioning the family, and the only person who could tell them what went on was another child. It just shows that that child's innocence hasn't been completely taken away yet. Shout out to the young man who stepped up and spoke to officers about this horrific incident. And now we are finding out that this young man, Jarvis, might have actually deleted himself due to the negligence of the adults in that home.
While the medical examiner's office is ruling this death as a homicide, police are now calling it a death investigation. That gun has not been found.
Liz, it was just in the last hour that family and friends started gathering outside of the home where 9-year-old Jarvis Watts lost his life on January the 1st. You can see they're still across the street comforting each other now.
Family and friends gather. I mean, they ain't ish, bro. And I can understand, like, oh, we already lost one person. We ain't going to lose somebody else we love to prison. But somebody's got to be held accountable. And most likely, I mean, they might even get off. So I just find it so wild that they're having a balloon release and a candlelight vigil and making a memorial when none of them are willing to speak up and tell us exactly what happened on that night.
Following an emotional balloon release that concluded just a few minutes ago. And as you say, this is all taking place as police continue to investigate the circumstances that led him to being shot 3 times in the face, neck, and hand.
3 times in the face, neck, and hand. Come on, like, maybe the weapon was an automatic. It had a switch on it, so that's why they tried to get rid of it. That's the only thing that I could think of, because if he clapped himself, then he must have pulled the trigger and then like instantly clapped himself and then kind of held on to that trigger to fire the other rounds at himself. I don't know. It's very, very weird that he was shot multiple times and clapped himself, but it does make sense if there was a switch on that weapon.
Evening of January the 1st, losing his life. There were, according to police, several adults and children in the home at the time. And one of the things that investigators are looking into is whether another child may have gotten a hold of the weapon and accidentally discharged it. The problem is that the weapon has not been located and neither has its owner. So for now, police continue to classify this as a death investigation. Now, the 9-year-old boy attended Kipling Elementary School along with his 2 brothers, and that is the school where the family and friends are gathered right now. So it is directly across the street from his home. And again, they're just for now continuing to comfort each other over this terrible loss. Live in Princeton Park, I'm Michelle Gallardo, ABC7 Eyewitness News. Back to you.
This afternoon, family, friends, and faculty from the elementary.
She called.
Elementary school where 9-year-old Jarvis Watts attended gathered for a balloon release in honor of the little boy many knew as Woody Mack.
It's so hurting to see a 9-year-old to get shot like that, a baby to die, you know, like.
It's also hurtful that none of the adults are coming up and giving up the weapon that deleted this young man, or speaking and cooperating with the police to let them know exactly what happened and whose weapon that was and who was negligent that night and allowed these children to have access to a firearm.
What's going on in this world?
2 days after Jarvis died, shot multiple times inside his Washington Heights home. A grief-stricken family and community members coming together to say shot multiple times inside his.
I just want to make notice that there is a Jason sticker on this window. Very haunting, if you will. And maybe these were Halloween decorations, but if that was his room, man, it's just a wild coincidence.
His Washington Heights home. A grief-stricken family and community members coming together to say a prayer and release balloons in his memory.
I don't know the family, but I knew of the kid. So I just wanted to come out to show my respects.
Jarvis would have turned 10 next month, according to a family member who described him as a happy, smiling little boy. It's something his friend and neighbor, Caden Johnson, also knows well.
He was brilliant. He was funny. He was smart. He knew a lot of stuff.
Caden says he loved to play football with his friend, something they could often be found doing in the summertime.
And I remember that, like, he catched the ball on me, and I was like surprised because he got that good.
This baby came to my house. This baby had been in my house. He'd have been around all my grandsons, you know, because they would go.
Man, I mean, it just seems like a horrible loss. Seems like a horrible loss, man. The little man, Jarvis, he seemed like a good kid. You know, dang, man, you just wish that things would be different in the community, but it's the same story over and over again. As you guys know, this is not the first time I've covered this type of negligence going on in the community, and the fact that they took the weapon and are hiding it is absolutely just disrespectful to this young man's life.
Go across the street and they would play football together.
When students come back from break to Rudyard Kipling Elementary School, there will be one less student beside them. On Tuesday, a letter shared with WGN going home to parents to share the news. The principal offering her condolences to the family while saying the school will do whatever it can to help those who need it, including providing grief counseling.
See, I know they're going to miss him a whole lot.
Police quiet about the investigation since the night of the shooting, but the medical examiner's office confirming Jarvis's death was a homicide.
It's just heartbreaking.
Police have said that they were speaking with people who were inside that home at the time of the shooting. No updates or arrests have been.
So they're saying it was a homicide instead of a death investigation. I don't know which one they're going with, but I would hope that it's a negligent situation rather than one of them kids clapped them, or maybe one of the adults accidentally clapped them or purposely clapped. I don't know. It's just, why does this keep happening in the community? That's all I got to say, man. That's all I got to say. It's crazy.
Been announced. Reporting outside of CPD in Auburn Gresham, Courtney Spinelli, WGN News.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
So it is what it is.